Conflicts in married life are inevitable. Many couples, despite constantly arguing, actually still love each other very much. According to psychologists, if arguments can help each person realize their own life views, know how to reconcile and recognize their own mistakes, then that is a good thing. However, if a couple argues too much, it will easily lead to negative effects in the marriage. I need to spend time to find out the root cause of the problem, to recognize mistakes in communication with my husband or wife. Maturity and tact in this relationship cannot be calculated by age alone, but must be based on how to solve problems. If I know how to balance between ego and common interests, all disagreements will be more easily reconciled. A survey of 3,000 people conducted by British psychologists showed that the main causes of arguments between couples are differences in life views and lack of listening. Differences in thinking about money, work, family, or childcare are often the main causes of many arguments. Understanding the causes of arguments in the family will help me find the best solution to solve the problem. To have a happy married life, couples need to remember the following. Patience is the key to resolving all conflicts in married life. The saying, "Patience is the key to success," is very true, and I see this clearly reflected in the years I have lived with my husband. When arguing, not everyone can stay calm, especially in stressful and emotional times. During arguments, when emotions are running high, I often remind myself that taking deep breaths will help me regain my composure. Breathing slowly not only helps me control my emotions, but also helps me think more carefully before saying anything. If I don't do this, I can easily fall into a state of hasty action without thinking about the consequences of my words and actions. Words spoken in anger can hurt your partner and leave wounds that are difficult to heal. Therefore, I always try to remind myself that patience is a way to help me not only stay calm, but also show love and respect for my husband. Every time I go through arguments, I learn valuable lessons about how to manage my emotions. Sometimes, I realize that a little silence and listening brings much better results than arguing. When I don't react quickly, I have time to think about my husband's perspective, and this helps me understand him better. Patience is not only a way to resolve conflicts, but also a sign of maturity in love and marriage. These moments help me realize more clearly the value of peace in a relationship, as well as the importance of overcoming difficulties together. I believe that when both of us know how to control our emotions and be patient, our love will become stronger over time. Avoid using hurtful words. When emotions flare up, saying harsh words can become a cruel act, not only hurting the other person, but also making the situation worse. Unintentional but angry words can cause deep hurt, and often these words cannot be taken back. Instead of letting emotions overwhelm you, it is important to stay silent and wait for the right time to talk. Take time to calm down, reflect on what happened, and find out the cause of the disagreement. When both parties have calmed down, it will be much easier to talk. Being silent in such moments does not mean avoiding the problem, but is a way to protect both people from unnecessary hurt. Arguments that happen when people are angry not only fail to resolve the issue, but can also escalate negative emotions, leading to saying things you later regret. When you choose to stay silent, you give both of you a chance to process your emotions and come back to the conversation in a more positive frame of mind. This helps create a safe space for sharing, where both parties can listen and understand each other, rather than just defending their own point of view. By doing this, You not only help maintain respect in the relationship, but also facilitate more meaningful and productive conversations in the future. Remember, an argument doesn't always need to be resolved immediately. Sometimes, time and calm are the keys to understanding and harmony. Not arguing in front of others is an important principle in married life. Before getting married, many parents tell their children that fighting is inevitable in married life. However, it is important that when problems arise, we should close the door and talk to each other, and not let private matters become a topic for public discussion. No matter what the reason for arguing is, I always emphasize to my husband that we need to stay away from public places or where a third person is present. Arguing in public not only makes the conflict more tense, but also has a negative impact on both parties' reputation. Such actions can hurt each other and their loved ones, as they may also feel embarrassed or uncomfortable when witnessing the argument. Instead of shouting at each other in crowded places, I always try to stay calm and restrain my emotions until I get home. This not only helps protect our privacy, but also avoids unnecessary prying and gossip from people around us. Moreover, after returning home, both of us will have time to review the problem more calmly. When we are in a private space, I feel more comfortable to talk and resolve conflicts peacefully. We can think together about how to solve it, find reasonable solutions, and grow together from conflicts. I believe that if we can keep the arguments within four walls, we will build a stronger and more lasting relationship. Not arguing in front of others not only shows respect for each other, but also is a way to preserve love and harmony in the family. Don't overthink. During arguments, I often have difficulty recognizing my own mistakes. This slowness in perception not only leads to unnecessary arguments, but can also cause deep damage in the relationship. Instead of only seeing the problem from my own perspective, the secret to true happiness is to put myself in my spouse's shoes. Thinking from the other person's perspective helps me see the problem more objectively. When I try to understand my partner's feelings and thoughts, I can realize that they are also dealing with their own worries, pressures, and emotions. This not only helps me to be more sympathetic, but also helps to build a deeper connection between us. Always remember that every word and action of my spouse has a reason. When I feel angry or upset, it is easy for me to overthink the other person's motives. But if I take the time to think and ask myself why they act the way they do, I can discover what makes them react that way. Don't be quick to judge. Instead, keep an open mind and listen. Putting myself in my partner's shoes not only helps me understand the situation better, but also increases understanding and empathy in the relationship. When both parties feel heard and understood, arguments are less likely, and instead, we can analyze the problem together more effectively. In fact, this approach not only brings harmony, but also helps both of us grow and develop in the relationship. Remember that love is not just about feelings, but also about effort and commitment to understand each other, helping each other overcome challenges. Deep understanding will help us build a solid foundation for happiness and peace in our life together. Finally, remember that the winner in an argument is the loser. This may seem contradictory, but it is actually very true in relationships. If everyone only wants to win, only focuses on proving themselves right, it is easy to hurt the other person. When each person tries to assert themselves without thinking about the other person's feelings, the words can become bitter and deeply hurtful. Instead of achieving a positive outcome, we only create distance and misunderstanding in the relationship. So I always try to remind myself that in every argument, The important thing is not to win or lose, but to find a way to understand and sympathize with each other. The ultimate goal of an argument is not to win, but to rebuild harmony and love. If my husband and I can both see the problem from each other's perspective, we will have a better chance of resolving the conflict. Instead of trying to prove who is right, we should focus on finding a common solution, which will help both of us feel more comfortable. True love is not about winning arguments, but about the ability to forgive, understand, and accompany each other through difficulties. We should remember that the bond and happiness in marriage are more important than any victory in an argument. Therefore, during arguments, I always try to keep a comfortable mindset and listen so that we can resolve the problem peacefully and positively. In married life, it is inevitable that there will be times when husband and wife quarrel and argue. The important thing is that we need to know how to resolve and rebuild harmony. Finding the root cause of the problem, listening patiently and being patient will help the relationship become stronger. Remember, love and mutual respect are important foundations in every relationship. If you are experiencing a similar situation, do not hesitate to share your opinions and experiences in the comments section below. We look forward to receiving your feedback so that we can learn and grow together. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on other useful content. See you in the next articles.